Hello, hello. We'll wait a few minutes, give some people time to come in. Hi, how is everyone today? See if I can get this out of the camera view, my light. How's everyone doing today? This is going to be a very low demand Cook With Me Live. You're welcome to come hang out, just relax, just chill, no pressure to chat. I'm here if you do want to chat, but there's no pressure. Just hang out. Let's just spend some time together. We're going to make some chicken, egg, and cheese waffles. I think some people call them chaffles. Just a high protein, easy way to have some bread. I like to make a sandwich on mine by putting salad between them. I thought I would just do a little food prep for the week. I know it's Tuesday, but my husband went back to work today, so I have the rest of the week to myself to kind of eat what I feel like eating. And I like to have some quick things to grab right out of the refrigerator that are ready-made. Ready-made but healthy. We're going to start out with 2 cans of chicken, and we're going to start by draining these very, very well. They need to be as dry as possible. I like to squish and squeeze on them to get as much water out as I can. That should be pretty good. Let's get us a bowl. Hello and welcome. Hey, Miss M, how are you? Hi, Next Spot. I'm just going to do some cooking. You guys are welcome to hang out, to chit chat, or just to sit back and relax. Grab you a snack and a drink, and let's just spend some time together. Or if you want to, you can cook while I cook. Hello. We're starting out with 2 cans of chicken. I have drained them very, very well as I can. This is the only thing I ever use canned chicken for. Welcome to anyone new, and welcome back to my regulars. I'm going to make a double recipe with these, which is why I'm using 2 cans of chicken, so that I can have them in the refrigerator, just quick and easy to grab this week. There's my 2 cans of chicken. Now I'm going to get 2 eggs. Emerson is cooking eggs. Very nice. Let me grab 2 eggs. These are chicken, egg, and cheese They're called waffles because they're made in a waffle maker, but it's just an easy way to make some protein bread. My favorite way to eat these is to make a salad and put salad between two of them like a sandwich. So you, in essence, have your chicken and your cheese toasted up to deliciousness, and then you have your salad on the inside. I have coleslaw that I can make, and I also have a Caesar salad I can make to put in the middle. I have tomato and cucumber too. So to the chicken, I already have my little waffle maker on. One of these days I'm going to get a bigger one, but right now I just keep using this mini one. Hey Danielle, how are you? Danielle is just having breakfast. Muesli, I've heard of that. Muesli or muesli and Greek yogurt. In New Zealand, it's 65 degrees at 9:05 in the morning. Wow, very nice. We have had unseasonably warm temperatures this past week. Like it's been in the 70s every day, except today. Today's cold and windy. Jackson and I went for a walk at the park, and we got halfway around that big path that we usually walk on. And when we got around to the backside, the wind was right in our faces. Oh my gosh, we didn't know if we were going to make it back. It was so cold. But by the time you get that far, there's no turning back. Even to turn back around and go the other way, we still would have been walking right into the wind. So we made it. We did it. It's already Wednesday for Danielle. Crazy, isn't it? Okay, I may add one more egg. I will have to see if we need it. I'm going to start with this and just start mashing up the chicken. When I first saw someone making this recipe, I thought it was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen. But it's actually really, really good. All right, now we need to add some cheese. I have seen people use cottage cheese, and I've seen people use shredded cheese. But I've made this will be about my 4th time to make it. I've always just used shredded cheese. Let's see what we have today. I have a little bit of pepper jack and some triple cheddar, so I'll just use both. Each recipe needs about half a cup. Since I'm doubling it, I need about a cup. This is one of those recipes you don't really have to measure though. Measure with your heart, as they say. Last time I made these, I put ranch seasoning in the mix, and it was really good. But today I thought I would try with some barbecue. I found this at Walmart. The MVP I Love Barbecue brand. It smells delicious. I already opened it to smell it. That should be pretty good. Emerson says it's Tuesday here in winter. Where are you, Emerson? Is it dinner time or breakfast for us? Danielle says. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I will eat these for dinner tonight, but my goal is to have several of them in the refrigerator for lunches this week. I'm going to make up a salad. I have a big bag of Caesar salad to make up. I've made these before on a live, but it's been a long time. They come out looking like toasted waffles, but they're made of chicken, egg, and cheese, so it's all protein. And I just make salad and cut up tomato and stuff and stick it between 2 of these like a sandwich. It's delicious. I guess, I don't know, I put a picture of one that I made a couple of weeks ago as the thumbnail, but I don't know if you see that when you join a live or if you only see that after. Okay, this looks like a pretty good consistency. You don't want it wet, but you also don't want it too dry. I'm going to add some barbecue. Do you guys have a favorite seasoning you like to put in things? So far, every time I've made these, I've made them different. I've made them with everything but the bagel seasoning, which was delicious, but a little bit salty, I felt like. I've made them with ranch. This time I'm going to do barbecue. I've made them with smoked paprika and just like garlic and stuff like that. Danielle, it's not fried chicken, but it's almost like chicken and waffles. Yeah, I've heard people call this chaffles, but I've also heard people call chaffles the ones that are just egg and cheese only. So it is kind of like chicken and waffles, but all rolled into one. Ooh, this barbecue smells really good. I thought if I seasoned up the waffle part more that I wouldn't need as much salad dressing. You know, I've been on this health journey for like 2 years now, 2.5 years now, and I'm just not getting anywhere with it at all. So I'm trying really hard to be extra careful, and sauces add a lot of extra calories. So I thought if I season it more this way, this says it has 0 calories. And I'm actually going to add a little bit more because I don't think that was quite enough to season all of the mixture here. And then all we do is scoop it by spoonfuls into this little waffle maker and let it do its thing. It does seem a little bit drier this time. I think I'm going to add 1 more egg just because those eggs are small, I think. See if you can see this better. It's pretty dry. It's kind of falling apart, which might be good. It might be extra cheesy, but let me put 1 more egg in it. It won't hurt to have that little bit of extra protein and a little bit extra binding, I guess you would say. Danielle says, you often, when you start a health journey, go really well at the beginning and plateau at some point. That's what I did. I lost 75 pounds the first year that I was really on my health journey. And all of last year, I maintained that 75-pound weight loss, but I never lost another pound. And this year, from probably, I don't know, November until now, I'm actually up like 4 or 5 pounds on the scale. And I even asked my doctor about it because I'm not doing anything different at all. I'm not eating any sweets. I'm not snacking at all. If I ever have a snack, it's an apple. But I try to just eat 3 really healthy meals a day. I still try to stay within my calories that they suggest. And it's just, not only is it not going anywhere, it went up. It went the wrong way, which I know 5 pounds is, you know, can be water weight and things like that. My doctor suggested that I start taking a primrose oil capsule every day. So I did order some of those because I am in menopause, you know, good old menopause. And she said some of it could be just the hormones. So I did order the primrose oil and I started taking it probably 2 days ago. I think I've taken 2 of them now. And she said that should help the estrogen like stay level in my body, which could help. And she also said that it could be just that I'm rearranging and have a little bit more muscle mass now because I've been walking, you know, at least 4 or 5 days a week for 2 years now. So she said it could just be that because my clothes don't seem to fit any differently. But I don't know. I don't want the scale to move back up. I want it to go down some more. But regardless of the number on the scale, the whole goal of this is just to be more healthy. So I'm just going to not get discouraged, keep doing my food prep here, you know, just do everything that I can and not stress myself out about it. Last time I used this waffle maker, I burned myself. So I'm trying to be careful this time. All right, can you guys see this? This looks better. I think it looks really good. I don't think I'm going to add salt. And I think this seasoning probably already has pepper. Actually, there's probably salt and pepper in the seasoning. And cheese is already pretty salty too. Canned chicken probably has salt too. So I'm going to leave it like that. And just put it by the spoonful. Let me get a plate to set them on. As they are finished. Trying to put everything so you guys can see it. Hi and welcome. Welcome or welcome back. Here's my plate. Can you guys see this? Well, I guess you can see it in a minute. There's nothing on it at this point anyway. All right, let me get like maybe a, what did I use last time? I think last time I used a quarter. I think last time I scooped it with this. So we'll try it. And it is literally just as simple as, you don't want to overfill it. So yes, it's simple, but you also don't want to put too much. Just try to kind of fill it up and squish it down. And I actually like to cook it a little bit longer. I know when the light goes off, it's done, but I like to cook it just a little bit longer. I don't like to eat anything that's eggy. How is everybody? Stopped at Sonic on our way home from our walk and got my ice water with sugar-free mango in it. Kind of makes me feel like I'm drinking a soda or something. It's good, but it's still 0 calories. Ooh, this already smells good. If you could get a whiff of it. It says to spray your waffle maker down. The last 2 times I've made them, I've decided I don't need to. And now that I've decided that, watch, it'll stick really bad today now that somebody's actually watching me make them. But I feel like maybe the cheese is greasy enough. I guess that'll be to be determined. We'll see. Would you guys like me to turn this light off back here? Is it bothering you? Is that better? Or worse, or the same? Let me get a clean fork to take these off. Danielle, you're right. It kind of smells like fried chicken. Chicken and cheese. I've seen people make these with like buffalo. What is it? Like buffalo sauce in them? That might be good too, but I don't like things very spicy. It's hard not to open it up and take a little peek inside. It's extra smoky. I've had this waffle maker on for a little while now. I have some avocado. I have some red onion that I can put in my salad. The only tomatoes I have are these little bitty ones, but I can still cut up enough to put on my salad and put between the waffles. Or just pile it all on one like a waffle pile on. Give everyone another look at the decorations that we hung up in yesterday's video. I haven't done a live in a while because I didn't want you guys to see my kitchen before you saw the decorate with me video. I like the way it turned out and the cross over here. I think it looks nice. And of course, well, the oven's kind of done, but I mean, it's kind of messed up right now. You can't see all of my covers. I took some off so I could set the tripod over here. But I have my towels and the kitchen covers and the new little drip pans that we put on. So that was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. See if I can get you back here how you were. I feel like we need Jeopardy music playing here. Da, da, da. Oh, it went off. Shall we see if it's ready? I think you guys can see it. It looks pretty good. It's still a little soft. I'm going to cook it just for a few more seconds. It's telling me to add a Q&A sticker. I don't think we need a sticker. It said, what is everyone's favorite kind of fruit? If you feel like answering, go ahead. If you don't feel like answering, don't bother. We are laid back and easygoing here. Sit back and relax, or clean or cook. Do whatever you want to do. That should be pretty good. Here it is. Chicken, cheese, and egg. Nice and crisp. Okay, let's give this just a second. I think it's already heated back up. This thing is small, but it seems to do a pretty good job of making these. I've never actually made waffles on here. None of us really eat waffles. I did try mixing the muffin mix one time, where you can mix it thicker and make your muffins in here. And I've tried making cinnamon rolls in it one time, and both were good, but I was the only one that ate them. And, you know, I don't need that stuff, so I just don't even bother anymore. All right, fill it back up. Waffle number 2. Chaffle number 2. I keep wanting to stick that in there. I don't want it in there with the raw egg. Perfect size for a sandwich. See if I can move the plate over here so it can be in the camera view also. Thing gets hot. Put my spices up here. With my husband's spice collection. I'm running out of space up there again. Does anybody have any special Valentine plans? Hey, hello, Dozer McCary, and welcome. We are making some chicken, egg, and cheese chaffles to make sandwiches on. Here's the first one we have made. Nice and crispy, and kind of smells like fried chicken and a grilled cheese mixed together. You hate Valentine's Day? I'm sorry about that. It is pretty commercialized and pressurized, I guess. It's kind of just another day for us. We don't do anything fancy. I did get my son a Valentine present, but I would get him a present anyway. My husband and I don't usually, you know, trade gifts or anything like that. Is there a particular reason you hate Valentine's Day, or you just hate the whole idea of it? The steam feels good. It's nice and warm. You were kicked out in the cold on Valentine's Day. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry that you were ever kicked out into the cold. I hope that now you are somewhere safe and warm. It's almost like having your own little heater or campfire. Yes, you are. Well, that's good. I know it's easier said than done, but maybe try not to think about the past and just look to the future. the present and the future. Today's a good day, I hope. All right, my light went off. I'm going to leave it a few more minutes so it gets extra crispy in there. Is this something you guys would think you would make one day and try it out? Or does it sound too weird to you? If I remember right, I get 5 or 6 waffles from each can of chicken. So I should get between 10 and 12 waffles today. That should be good. Oh yeah, this one's even crispier than the other one. Perfect. Let's wait till the light comes back on and it's warm again, and we'll do the next one. One of these days, maybe I'll get a second waffle maker. If you had a waffle iron, you would try it. I actually saw, I don't know, it was on a Facebook reel or a short or something the other day. Somebody made the same mixture and they spread it all into a sheet pan, like a cookie sheet, and they baked it in the oven. And it came out the same, and then they just cut it into like bread shape. I might try that soon. I didn't want to turn my oven on today. My oven takes so long to heat up. And I like these because they're already portioned out. You know, you can stick them in the freezer or stick them in the refrigerator and just grab one and heat it back up when you want to eat it. I heat mine up in the toaster oven and they come out just as toasty as they are the day I make them. Come on, warm back up. You can do it. Somebody actually gave my son this waffle maker for Christmas a few years ago. For his birthday or Christmas, I don't remember. You don't have a stove because your landlord didn't replace yours. Well, that doesn't sound very nice. If you're ever in a position to buy a little toaster oven, you can buy them even smaller than this. You can make absolutely anything that you can make in a big oven, you can make in there. I use this thing daily, and I use my oven just a few times a year. All right, here we go. Round 3. Just spread it out a little bit. I found my Valentine towel that my mom got me last year. We like to trade towels pretty much for every season. If we see a cute towel, we'll get it for the other one. So sometimes I get my mom towels and sometimes she brings me a towel. You have a crock pot, toaster oven, an air fryer, and a microwave. Oh, you have everything you would ever need. Ooh, this one has the extra barbecue scent to it. It smells great. When I was at Walmart earlier, on the clearance rack, they had some Christmas Starbucks peppermint mocha. It was regular $15.24 and they had it for $8, so I decided to try it. I am a coffee lover. I love coffee, so I already drank one as soon as I got home. It was really good. I wanted to try these at Christmas time, but I didn't want to pay $15 for a pack if I wasn't going to like it, because I'm not typically a fan of Starbucks. But this was really good. I didn't even put any creamer in it. I drank it just like it was. It wasn't sweet, but it had just a really nice peppermint taste to it. That is a cute towel, isn't it? I use them all year long. That's why it's already kind of worn out and old looking, even though it's probably only a year old. I'm not picky. I use my Christmas towels, my Valentine towels. I use them all year round. Whatever's clean and on top of the drawer, that's what I grab and use. I bought ranch at Walmart. I was out of the ranch light. I like to eat these. If I don't put like avocado on here with my salad, then I like to have a little bit of ranch on there. Although if I make coleslaw or if I make the Caesar salad, I won't need that ranch, but I have it now anyway. I had to go buy the chicken. I already had the cheese and the eggs. Dozert says, oh, you like cats. We have a cat in here somewhere. I think she's asleep. In her little cat bed. We have a dog and he's in there asleep in his bed. He sleeps a lot these days. Unless we have company or something exciting going on, he's in there asleep. He's getting old. Same with the cat. She sleeps now more than anything else. The only time she gets feisty is when she gets those evening zoomies. Your cat's name is Dozer and your name is Candy. Oh, Dozer is a cute name. What color is your cat? And welcome, Candy. I don't know if you've been in the chat before or not, but welcome. Orange? Nice. Is it a male? I've always read that most orange cats are males. I've always read that. Which makes sense because the 2 orange cats I've ever owned in my life were male. And my friend has an orange cat and it's male. It is male? Maybe that is true. Maybe there is some fact to that. We've had a steady 9 or 10 people in here, so I love that people are just hanging out. You don't have to chat. That is fine with me. I do the same thing. I turn on people's lives or people's videos and I clean and I cook and I do my dishes. And sometimes I even turn on people's videos while I read a book just for that background. You're in Canada. Nice. We have at least 2 other subscribers from Canada that I know of. This one should be finished. Okay, it's a little bit eggy still. It needs to cook a little bit longer. I didn't get it quite as full this time. Do I know what province? Well, let me think for a minute. I should know. I think I know. I think it's somewhere in my brain. Can you name a few of the provinces? And I will tell you if I recognize one of them. Danielle says it's true. Most ginger cats are males. It's rare if you find female ginger cats. That's fascinating to me. You know, just like how I love to study people and child development and child psychology and just learn about all of those things, I'm just as fascinated by phenomenons like that. You know, what makes all orange cats male? That is so random. Can you imagine if every single human that had red hair was male or something? Like, that would be so weird. See if this is done now. There we go. Now it's done. When you can easily pick it up with a fork, you know it's done. Let's let this heat back up a little bit. Make sure the next one is full enough that it is touching the top and the bottom really well. British Columbia, Alberta, Ontario. Let me think. I just mailed a package. Does anybody else here follow? It used to be Tanya Talks Too Much, but now it's Tanya's Too Much. I just mailed her a couple of postcards and things, and why can't I remember where I mailed it to? I literally filled out the customs form and I filled out the envelope and all of that. I want to say, I don't even want to guess because I'll guess wrong. Interesting. And the other subscriber that I know of that lives in Canada, I don't know where exactly they live. Message held for review. I don't know what that means, so. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to delete that. PEI is what it said. I don't think it was British Columbia. I think it was either Alberta or Ontario, but I don't know. I couldn't tell you for sure. Come on, little light. Reminds me of the old church song, "This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine." Like, come on. Shine up. Get your light shining. Let's go. Prince Edward Island. That just sounds super, super fancy. I think if I ever visited Canada, I would want to go to Prince Edward Island just because it sounds so fancy. One of these days, Niagara Falls is in Canada, right? Hi, Miss M. Welcome back. It's always good to see you. We are still making the chicken, cheese, and egg waffles. I'm waiting for my light to come back on so I can put some more mixture in. Hopefully my light isn't breaking. What was I going to say? Oh, yes. One time years ago, we went to Little Niagara, which is in New York, and it is just the very small side of Niagara Falls. I would love to actually see the true Niagara Falls someday. Although Little Niagara was just breathtaking. It was stunning. Half is, but the other half, yes, the other half is in New York, which is the half I saw, and it is supposedly a whole lot smaller. But to me, to a Texas girl that lives in the driest part of Texas ever, I have never seen anything even comparable to that in my life. What is going on with this thing? Come on. Maybe I'm not supposed to be waiting for the light. Maybe I'm supposed to be cooking on it like this. Actually, every September, Niagara Falls gets lit up purple for Chiari. I don't know if anybody here has Chiari or knows what it is. I do have Chiari malformation. I have had brain surgery for it, and I live with it every day. And purple is our, like our Chiari warrior, what do you call it? You know how like breast cancer is pink? I guess it's our awareness ribbon color, I guess you would say. And in September is Chiari Awareness Month. And just a few years ago, not very many people had ever heard of Chiari. Not very many people knew what it was. Even doctors. The doctor that diagnosed me, the day he found out that I had it, he dismissed me as his patient and wouldn't even see me again. Not even for my cough. So I think it's pretty cool that more awareness is being spread about it. It used to be thought that Chiari was a very rare genetic disorder, and it's not rare at all because just here in my area, we have over 100 people that are in our support group. Our support group isn't very active, but it's still there if anybody needs anything. So yeah, every September they light it up purple, and I've seen pictures and videos of it. It's beautiful. September is the start of your cold weather. Okay, it is here too. I think our weather patterns are about the same as Canada. Of course, you guys get a lot colder there than we do, but I think we have the same seasons. This smells so good. This is a stay-at-home mom's version of a spa day. You do your cooking and you like get your facial from the from the waffle iron. Have you seen the memes like where moms open the dishwasher when it's hot and steamy and they're like, this is spa day? Well, I don't use my dishwasher. I wash my dishes by hand, so this will be my spa day, the waffle maker. The best time to come is in April to August. One day, I'm not huge on traveling. I'm very, very much a homebody. I love to be home. When I do travel, I can't say I'm not a traveler. I love to travel, but I love to travel for one night or 2 nights and I'm ready to be back home. So at this point in my life, Canada is just a little bit beyond my scope of comfort. But I really do hope to travel more, especially when Jackson's older. For anyone new here, Jackson is my 11-year-old autistic son. and I homeschool him. I care for him. I'm with him 24/7. And he does like to travel too. He loves to see, especially history and different things like that. You love to travel? Danielle says the gene that makes a cat ginger is on the X chromosome. Okay, so male cats have one X chromosome, so if that X carries the gene, the cat is ginger. Female cats, XX, they need the ginger. Okay. Back to the good old biology days. I knew it had to be something on that chromosome that we don't have, or that we could have and carry it, but we wouldn't necessarily show it because we would have a more dominant gene to cover it, I guess. I need to take my trash out again. I feel like trash and laundry are never ending in this house. Come on, guys, get your spa treatment. Get it however you can. Dozer, you love to travel. If you could travel anywhere in the whole world, where would you go next? Your children are all grown up and have children of their own. I have 2 grown children. I have 8 grandchildren, and I have Jackson. I actually had just had my daughter had just had my first granddaughter, my first grandchild, just had her the last day of November, and then right before New Year's that next month, I found out I was pregnant. So it's a crazy life, but I would not change it for the world. Absolutely would not change a single thing about it. I love it. And I love that my 11-year-old has nieces and nephews that are his age and younger, because it's still kind of like he has cousins and he still has kids to play with. All right, my light went off. I'm going to wait a few more minutes. I think we are about halfway done with the mixture. Miss M, if you're still here, let me know how you're doing today. I know you've been having some seasonal depression or some struggles lately, so just give me a little check-in, and even if you just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, let me know how you're doing. You have 8 children and 38 grandchildren. That is amazing. What a blessing. I couldn't do it. I could not do 8 children, but I definitely commend those that do. And I grew up in a family that had 5 children, and very often, up until I was in the 5th grade and we moved to Texas, we always had foster kids in our house. Several of my siblings are adopted. We fostered many, many, many others. And then after we moved to Texas, a cousin lived with us for a while. We always had friends that stayed over. We always had a house full, and we lived in a teeny tiny 3-bedroom house. It was full to the brim, but we had a lot of really good memories. But I always knew my husband grew up with 6 kids in his family, and they always had at least 3 cousins living with them. And both of us kind of always knew that we did not want that many kids. We wanted 3. We always wanted 3. And for years and years and years, we only had 2, and that was all we had. And you know, God just didn't see fit for us to have another one yet. And we had given up hope for years. We were just about to be empty nesters. My daughter had already grown up, moved out, gone to college, cosmetology school. She was already getting on her own feet. My middle child, my son, was in high school. He was 16 when I found out I was pregnant. And we just thought we were going to be empty nesters. Surprise, surprise. Gene on both X chromosomes to be fully ginger. Okay, so you have to have 2 X chromosomes to be ginger. Nice. Waffle number 4. Are you guys tired of seeing them yet? Can you smell it? You can see the barbecue seasoning in there. Remember, we put just a little bit of pepper jack also. And see, you don't have to spray the grease on your waffle iron. Here's the trick to using a waffle iron, I think. I'm not a pro on these. Don't take my word for it. I don't cook in it very often except for this. If you don't wash it with soapy water, I think it's kind of like cast iron. If you don't wash it with soapy water and let it dry out, you don't have to use all the spray and the oil every time, especially for this because the cheese is oily. While this is hot, I get a wet rag and I wipe it down as best I can without burning myself, kind of like you would do like a Blackstone grill outside or something. I wipe it down and steam it up, and then I wait until it's completely cool, and I use a damp rag and wipe anything else off of it. Nice, Danielle. Danielle is a stats girl, I think. Miss M is not okay yet. Okay, well, let's all be praying for Miss M. Let's just lift her up and hold her up in prayer this week, and in hopes that she can kind of get out of her funk. It's hard to do sometimes. Winter is just hard, especially when you can't get out and be as active and get as much sunlight and vitamins on your body. It's just hard. If you notice, I haven't been live in weeks. I haven't been live in over a month, and I used to. I would go live once a week or so. I love hanging out with you guys. I love just kind of being here and having someone to chit chat to. This is the time of day Jackson's done with me, and I just sit in here reading books or doom scrolling my phone. I'd way rather hang out and chit chat. But I was definitely in a funk all the way from Christmas when we had so much company for 2 solid weeks. Even further back than that, we went on vacation in September to Boston. From that vacation, I feel like we never fully recovered because it was go, 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 go. We had company, we had outings, we had events, we had travel, we had the craft show, we had Christmas and Thanksgiving and all the things. And I am just now starting to feel myself again. It takes time. It takes a lot of time. And Jackson too, we would feel good enough that we would go and we would do something for a day or join something for a day. And then we were right back to where like, oh my gosh, we don't want to do anything, talk to anyone, do anything for a while. Bye, Miss M. Have a great night. Danielle is a stats girl and loves learning new things. I am the same way, especially, like I said, when it's something about development or growth or genes or any of that. Several years ago, we had a small DNA test done on Jackson just to check for a couple of things and see if anything popped up, which it didn't, but his developmental pediatrician told us then, even every year, there's so many new genes found and so many new deletions or what is the opposite of like a micro deletion, like when you have a little extra or something, and just so many different things. She said you could get tested once a year and they find new stuff, which we never have. We don't really have a need to. But now this year, his neurologist, because of some other things that have come up, she is sending him to a geneticist to have a full, I think she called it a micro array or something. The wait list is really long, so it'll be several months for that. So he's going to have a way more detailed genetic test, and I'm excited. If our insurance won't cover it, we're not going to have it done. And the neurologist and I have already talked about that. It's not a necessity. It's just kind of a curiosity. But if insurance will cover it, the last test insurance didn't cover, but it was only a couple $100s. This one is like in the thousands. So I kind of look forward to see if we can get that done, and just whether it shows nothing or whether it shows something, I'm interested. There's obviously a link. When you have at least one of your children that's autistic, and then I was diagnosed autistic at 50, obviously I've been that way. You're born with it. I was that way my whole life. And multiple other family members I can name, but they don't have professional diagnosis and they don't want to acknowledge or, hear about those things. But there's definitely a family link. And so I am interested to see if anything shows up. Saturday, you're going out for dinner with 4 of your friends to the Mandarin for a buffet. That sounds amazing. That sounds really good. Calico and tortoiseshell cats are almost always female. I actually knew that, I think. I think I did know that. A male calico is extremely rare and usually has an unusual chromosome pattern. Huh. Very interesting. I think I knew that. The other thing that interests me about calico cats is they're always huge. I've never seen a tiny calico cat. The one I had for years, I actually very sadly had to find her a new home when Jackson was a toddler. She just could not handle having, especially a very high needs baby and toddler here. She couldn't handle it. She was so stressed out all the time. She kept getting UTIs and things like that. So I had to find her a home that was just a single older woman that would just stay home and love on her like I did. She was the biggest calico I've ever seen. I don't know if I've ever posted a picture of her. She would lay on me and she came all the way from up here all the way to down here. And I bet she weighed 20 or 25 pounds. She was huge. And I don't think she had any idea she was a cat. She just thought she was my baby. Somebody found her. The vet thought she was probably only 3 or 4 weeks old. Somebody found her all by herself out in the cold rain, covered in fleas. So I took her in and nursed her back to health, bottle fed her, litter box trained her, all the things. Like she was literally my baby. My knees are sore from standing here. A male calico. Oh, yeah, I think I already read that. XXXY. It's all interesting. Message held for review. I don't know why it's holding some of the messages. Oh well, I guess I'd rather hold ones we don't want to see. I can always approve them. 10 pounds. That's a pretty good size. I don't know how much our cat Pixie weighs. She's on the smaller side. She is heavy and she is chubby for her frame, but she's always been a smaller frame cat. But she is a Bengal. She's part Bengal and part Pixie Bob. So I feel like the Wildcats are slimmer. I feel like they do have that more sleek and narrow just build, I guess. She's always had a belly, but that's probably because she never goes outside. She stays inside her whole life, and she's been fixed. So it might be yours because you're new to doing this. No, it's not anything you're doing wrong. Did you tell me your name was Carrie? Cammy? Can you tell me your name again? And I apologize. I'm absolutely horrible with names. I just don't want to call you the wrong thing. It's nothing you're doing. You're not doing anything wrong. The chat is filtered to pick up on certain things, and it just does sometimes. One, two, three, four, five. Five down. That one did stick a little bit. I wonder if I do need some oil. Maybe I've never made this many at one time. Here I said you don't need oil, and now I think maybe I do. I'll try one more and see what happens. I think we probably have 3 more to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5. I bet we can get 8, maybe 9. I couldn't remember how many they made before. I thought I got 4. Yeah, so that would be 8. I think I got 4 or 5 out of one can of chicken. Let's see. Candy, but spelled Kandie. Okay. I think I can remember that now. I just have to make myself like a mental note. I think I can at least remember it till the end of this chat. If I don't remember it beyond that, you might have to tell me again. People always ask me if they're pronouncing my name right or how to pronounce it. My name is Javada. A lot of my friends call me Java because I love coffee. As you can see, coffee, coffee, coffee. I don't know if you guys were here earlier, but I found some Starbucks peppermint mocha coffee on clearance for $8, and it is delicious. I'm not usually a Starbucks girly. Their coffee from the store is too strong for me, but this was really good. For $8 a box, I might have to go back and get another pack soon. All right, let's try another one. You about ready for your game time, Jackson? Got your book read? Okay. Oh, that thing gets hot. Hot, hot, hot. I finally cooked my other spaghetti squash, but when we bought groceries this week, I bought another one. This has been one of my favorite dinners lately. Spaghetti squash, just with, you know, regular old spaghetti sauce and meat and stuff on it. Just this instead of the noodles. I might actually try to grow a spaghetti squash this summer. When we lived out of city limits, we used to live in a small town about an hour from here. We used to have a huge garden every year. We would grow zucchini bigger than my arm. Tomatoes, green beans, you name it, we grew it, and it thrived. But we had well water, and we were outside of city limits. And we had a big space, you know, in the ground. Ever since we moved here, I think we've lived here, I don't know, maybe close to 15, 16 years now. I cannot tell you, every summer except last summer, I think, I have tried to grow in the ground, in containers, in different containers, like I've tried the cement pots, I've tried the wooden, I've tried the plastic. I have tried and tried and tried to grow things here, and nothing grows. And if you can get it to grow, it won't get pollinated because we don't have any bees or anything. We have wasps, but I guess they don't pollinate. But this year, I told Jackie I want to try to grow a few containers of things on the front porch. We've never tried to grow anything on the front porch before. It gets the east sun, so it will have full sun for several hours in the morning, but it won't get the scorching, hot, dry heat that we get here. But here we have, number one, a lack of insects, and number two, our water is so, I call it chlorinated. It smells like bleach or chlorine, and it smells like a lake. We have the worst water. We don't drink this tap water and stuff. I think it's the water. I think it just harms the plants. So I don't know what I'm going to do about the water, but I'm going to try to grow them on the front porch and see if they grow. Candy has to go because she's being called by another app. Okay, thanks for joining us, Candy. Danielle says she has a 15-year-old cat, Minnie, and Lady, that makes her 80 human years. Wow. She is old for a cat. Candy, it was nice to meet you. Welcome back anytime. Danielle, you told me you have 4 cats. Is that right? Or was that somebody else that told me that? Water your plants with bottled water in the future. Even our bottled water is horrible here. I think what I'm going to do is use water from our refrigerator filter. You know how it gets filtered through the refrigerator? I've been filling these up. This one's not full right now, but I saved these and I've been filling these up. And this is what I boil water. You know, I boil water on the stove because it's so dry here all the time. And I've also been watering my plants with these because I've heard that once it sits out for a couple of weeks, then it's like easier for your plants and stuff. What do you think happened to Nancy Guthrie? I have no idea. I pray for her and I hope she is found, but I won't go into any kind of politics or anything like that here. I'll just put it this way. People don't just up and disappear. We'll just put it that way and leave it that way. You have 2 cats. I knew you had Roman. Rascally old Roman. Is he staying home these days? So you have Minnie and Roman. Roman's younger then. Oh, it needs a few more minutes here. We're getting there. We're getting there. We have a plate full. I'm trying to think how old Pixie is. You know, my brain just doesn't remember numbers anymore. Jackson's 11, so Pixie's probably 13, would be my guess. I know we've had her at least a year more than Jackson's been alive. Well, let's see, Ava's 12, and we had her when Ava was born. I would guess that Pixie's about 13. I haven't really looked up how long beagles live because I don't want to have that number in my mind. He was close by but trapped in the neighbor's car. Nosiness got the better of him and he got trapped. I'm just glad they found him. That could have ended badly. I am glad they found him. Glad you had everyone in your neighborhood out looking for him. There we go. Looks good. I do think I'm going to put just a little bitty squirt of oil on here because they are wanting to stick on the bottom. The tops are doing fine. I don't like using oil. I don't like using anything extra for extra calories or for extra chemicals, but it's better than having a sticky mess, I guess. All right, let's see. We can get one more, or we can get two more or three more. I think two probably. Fill up pretty full. Just spilled some. There we go. We've let Pixie out for a little while before she got old and lazy. She acted like she wanted to go out, so we decided we would try taking her out a couple of times. And we took her out in the side yard, where the kids play when they're here. And she lasted maybe 5 minutes. She didn't like it at all. And I was so scared that she was going to get scared and dart off into the road or run off and not be able to find her way home or something, because she was so scared she wouldn't even relax, so we brought her back in. And a couple of other times, when we have the front door open, she'll act like she wants to go out, when we're bringing groceries in or someone's on the porch and we're standing there talking. So we've let her come out on the front porch with us a couple of other times and sit out there with us. But as soon as she gets out there, she wants back in. And I'm so scared that, when you have a cat that's never been outside, she wouldn't know what the cars were or what the street was. And we live on a corner. We have busy traffic both ways, or at least in my eyes, busy traffic. I'm a small town girl. So we just keep her in. Do I think we'll get another cat or dog if our two pass? My answer to this is a hard no, but I'm not the only person that lives here. And Jackie and Jackson, their answer would be a definite yes. So my answer would be no, because I'm the caretaker. I'm here by myself most of the time. I am pretty much solely responsible for Jackson's upbringing and schooling and therapies and all of the things, everything except the income. I am left to take care of the house, all of the hair, all of the messes, all of the things. And it's tiring. And we do like to travel here and there too. And it is so expensive to put Thor in the kennel now. We pay more for him to go to the kennel than we do for us to rent an Airbnb most of the time. It's crazy expensive. And I don't want to do the potty training, and I don't want to do the teaching a dog. Thor's the best dog we've ever had, ever. No other dog would ever compare to that. And I don't want to we put a lot of time, energy, and money into training him the way he is trained. And I just don't want to do it again. I don't. I want to rest and relax, and I don't want to be responsible for anybody except the three of us humans that live here. Could we get fish instead? I don't think that would suit anybody's needs. We had fish for a while, and I hated cleaning the fish tank. Hated it. And with the water and stuff that we have here, it needed the algae cleaned. Even with the snails and the plecostomus, it needed the water and the glass cleaned at least once a month, if not more. I just don't. I'm tapped out with what I have. I don't want another litter box. I'm so tired of the hair in here. I know you guys hear me talk about it all the time. I have to wipe everything down before I can do anything. The bathroom counter, the whole bathroom's always full of cat hair. And it looks gross. It looks like human body hair. But I know that it's cat hair, but it's on the table in here. I'm sure you know you have cats. I don't want to do it again, but that might not be a reality either. Danielle says, for the plants, have you thought about getting a blue plastic drum to collect rainwater? When we lived in Oklahoma, we did that. My family that lives in Oklahoma still does that. We don't get enough rain here. Um, I've been doing YouTube for almost an entire year now, and I could probably think of 10 times that it's rained here. And we got more rain in 2025 than we have in a long, long, long time. We don't have enough rain to collect it. It's very, very dry here. I'm going to give this just a couple more minutes. Now, years ago, we had two boxers that strictly lived outside. And it's crazy because people always say boxers can't live out in the cold, especially in the snow and the negative temperatures and stuff. Our two boxers, anytime we would try to bring them in, they wanted back out. They were not house dogs. They did not want to be house dogs. We would let them in. You know, when it got really cold or really snowy, okay, I'll say this. They had an insulated, heated doghouse outside. They would get so hot in there, they would sweat. But you know, when the temperatures were supposed to be bad for days, we would try to get them to come in. In the summertime, when it was really hot, when it's over 100 degrees, we would try to get them to come in. They were welcome to come in the house, but they 100% wanted to live outside. They were very much backyard dogs. And I didn't mind that as much because the companionship was still there, the loyalty was still there. We still took them camping and we took them to the lake if we would go to the lake and things like that. And they were still there for security. You know, when Jackson and I are here alone, it is nice to have a dog that would bark if anyone comes around. We have security cameras everywhere, but you can't ever be too careful. So part of me wouldn't mind having another outside dog, but I feel like you have to have the right dog for an outside dog because not all dogs want to live outside. And I'm not going to force a dog to live outside that doesn't want to be outside. Does that make any kind of sense whatsoever? It would have to be the right dog. And we do still have the insulated doghouse out there. It just needs, it would need a light put in it. But the doghouse is really nice. It's insulated in between the walls. And it has a window on the front and a window you can open on the back so it can get airflow and stuff through it in the summertime. Kind of where it can become a shady, cool spot in the summer. And then a warm spot because on the top you can put a heat lamp, an extra warm spot in the winter. We have that if we ever did have another dog out there, but I don't know. I just hope the animals that we have now last for several more years. All right, last one. Here we go. There's a lot of stuff stuck up in this cup. Let's see, it took us about an hour to make a whole week's worth of bread or chaffles or whatever you want to call them. And that would be a week's worth if I ate them every single day. I probably won't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to have 8. That will make 4 sandwiches. Or if you make them open-faced, obviously it would make 8 sandwiches. They are pretty. I like the dark coloring of them with the barbecue seasoning in them. They smell like a barbecue chip, but they also smell like chicken. Great Pyrenees are an outdoor dog. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I wonder, it might be too hot here for them in the winter. I mean, in the summer. I don't know. I just try not to think about the future. At minimum, we'll take a break, enough to do some traveling for a while. And of course, cats are easier. You can leave cats home a lot easier than you can dogs. We can leave our cat home for several days. And of course, my mom comes and plays with her and checks in with her and makes sure she has food and water and stuff like that. But she could easily be left here for a couple of weeks just with someone checking in on her. And I guess the same if you have an outdoor dog. When we used to travel, when we had the outdoor dogs, we paid one of the neighbors to come over and feed them and make sure they had water and play fetch with them for a little bit, you know, stuff like that. But they didn't need to be let in or let out or any of that stuff. So I don't know. Who knows? None of us know what the future holds. Great Pyrenees. They are pretty. They're nice and fluffy, aren't they? There's some people that live down the street from us that always have Huskies or Malamutes. I'm not sure which. And it shocks me that they can live here in the temperatures we have here. But they're outside all the time, too. They don't ever take them in. They actually have one of them, I say chained up, but they have a chain that gives them the whole run of the whole yard. They have one in the backyard and one in the front yard with some dog houses and stuff out there. But it gets so hot in here in the summer. It gets so hot out here that Jackson and I can't even go to the swimming pool. It's so hot, you're miserable even when you're with cold water. And it's a different heat than a lot of people are used to, so it's hard to imagine. It's a very, very dry heat with wind that's as hot as 100 degrees or more. We have several days in the summer that get over 100 degrees here. And it'll stay hot from 6:30 in the morning when the sun comes up until 11 o'clock at night, till it's been dark for a little while. Danielle, do you like dogs too, or do you mainly just like to have cats? This is the last one. I'm going to let it get extra crispy. Let me get a wet rag so I can wipe this down a little bit. Hopefully without burning myself this time. I don't know what has happened to all of my kitchen rags. I used to have a bunch of them. I still have a bunch of little kitchen towels, but the washcloths are few and far between in here. You mainly like cats, but there's some dog breeds that you like. I understand that. Get me a little oven mitt. Maybe I can hang on to this and try to wipe off a little bit. There's not too much on it. These are really easy to clean up after. I'm going to let this one go a little bit longer. St. Bernards, Huskies, German Shepherds, Golden Retrievers, and Labradors. Those are all nice dogs. One of our other neighbors, we have a lot of neighbors here that have dogs that don't keep them in their yards, and it's it's really hard to deal with, you know, when you're constantly cleaning up after the neighbors' dogs in your yard every day. They use the bathroom in our front yard. They drag stuff up here. If we leave anything out, they'll tear it up. One of the neighbors has a German Shepherd, and they just let it roam all the time. And I call the city on them constantly, but they don't do anything about it. There's several dogs that roam the neighborhood, and I can tell you which house each one of them belong to. But anyway, they've kind of ruined me on German Shepherds because that thing is such a pain. And I don't fault the dogs, you know. I don't want to, you know, trap the dogs or do anything to the actual dog. It's the owners that I fault. It's their fault. Dogs are dogs. They're going to do what they're taught and, you know, do what dogs do naturally. But there's no reason not to keep them in your backyard with a fence or something. That's pretty crisp. I don't want to burn it, but I want to get it as crispy as I can. St. Bernards, I think, are really, really cute, but I think they need to live somewhere cold also. Huskies, like I said, there's people here that have Huskies, but I think it's honestly too hot for them in the summer. German Shepherds, a lot of people here that have, what do you call it? Like, we live in a city that has so many car sale places, and they almost all have German Shepherds in their yard. Golden Doodles or Labradoodles, yeah, they are cute too. Kind of the best of both worlds, huh? Okay, I think I'm going to unplug this. And I think that is pretty crispy. That one's almost like a chip. There's the finished product. Plate full of goodness. I'll let them cool all the way, and then I will put them in a Ziploc bag in the refrigerator. The outside of this I can easily wipe down when it's cool. I just want to wipe the inside. I don't know if you can see this, but there is just a little bit of chicken on it. Just dump most of it out, but it's very, very easy cleanup. Any of the germs from the chicken or the egg or any of the bacteria would be cooked off. So it's just kind of like I said, like I've never even owned cast iron, but that's what I imagine it's like. You just need to just wipe the crumbs off really. And then it stays oiled. That looks pretty good. I'll get it really wiped down, really clean after it cools off. That's it. That's the cooking and the cleanup all in an hour and 18 minutes for a double recipe. I think I'm going to go ahead and end this live. Danielle, thanks for hanging out with me. Everybody else in the chat, I know there have been several people here that are quiet, but I know you're still here listening. Thanks for hanging out and just joining in on the fun today. I am going to end it because I think my mom's going to come by when she gets off work. See you next time, Danielle. I hope everybody has a great day. Bye.